Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the May 2026 webinar. A little different format today. We're going to be trying some stuff out. So your feedback, after you view this, just let us know how this went. Good things, bad things, compliments, all that. But with me, so I'm Scott Eveling. I am the Director of Operations and Pricing and Head of Energy Strategy here at Broker Online Exchange. And with me is Allie Black. Allie, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Allie Black. I am our manager of our Pricing and Strategic Solutions division here at Box. So day to day, looking at all of the big deals that need a little special care and can't sign them off matrix. We're really excited about our new format and about our webinar today, what makes top brokers successful. Before we get into that, I want to just introduce Box a little bit. Box, or Broker Online Exchange, is North America's largest network of energy aggregators, brokers, and consultants in North America. We were recently acquired by AppDirect and joined the AppDirect portfolio and family of companies. So we are supercharging our growth this year and really excited to start bundling some things. We're going to talk about all of that in future webinars, but it's really exciting stuff going on here at Box HQ, just so you guys know. So keep an eye out, keep an eye on all of our socials so that as we start rolling out these updates, as we start rolling out new events that you can be a part of, anything like that, all of that's going to be on our socials. So definitely keep an eye there. We do have an Instagram, if anybody, and we have obviously LinkedIn and everything like that as well. So feel free to give us a follow and get to know us a little bit better there. Before we get into kind of the meat, Scott, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. The weather's turning up here. Looking forward to the summer and everything going on. And my son's back home here this next week and a half before he goes off his internship, but everything's going great. Great. How about yourself?
Oh, everything's great. Looking forward to summer. We've been getting a lot of rain, which is really good. Hopefully that means good camping with actual campfires. We have fire bans in Texas when we don't get enough rain. Good stuff.
Awesome. Any travel plan this summer?
Actually, I'm going to be up in your neck of the woods, kind of Chicago area, and going to see a concert with some friends. So really, really excited to get to see them. It's been a minute.
Cool. Awesome.
How about you?
Well, in the summertime, you're coming up to Chicago. I mean, Chicago is my favorite place in the world in the summertime. It's the best time to be here. But then just heading out to, I think we're going to head out to North Carolina, our place in North Carolina a little bit, and up to this September and up in Quebec probably for a week. So, and just check out that Quebec City area up there. But hey, so I am super stoked here today. We got Chandler Robertson on our line here. This is going to be a lot of fun. And he's going to be probably one of my favorite people here at Box, besides you, Allie. And he is going to really kind of give us some good messaging around how to really, for all our broker partners to improve, and anybody looking to get into this business, how they can get going. So it's going to be quite exciting.
Yeah, I think this one is going to be really good. I know that our network has joined, or our network has grown a lot. We've had a lot of new individuals join us, whether that's AppDirect advisors that are kind of selling energy for the first time, or it's just people who are looking to add something new to their portfolio, or energy brokers who have been doing this for 20 years and they're ready to kind of offload a little bit more of their admin and operational burden and get have some support so that they can focus on what they do best and stay in front of their customers and having conversations about these markets. Chandler is going to have some exceptional insight. I know he's been with Box for a while and he's one of our senior account managers. So really, really excited to get his perspective in there.
Excellent. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Before we do that, though, I kind of want to touch on the market because I know we have had some moves over the last week. Scott, can you give us kind of like just headlines, bullets, what's going on globally, what's going on nationally, and what's going on locally? What's happening in energy markets?
That is some great questions. Great questions. And so locally, I mean, really, the kind of capacity is continuing to be the story. The capacity prices and of course, go rising up. Actually, MISO just recently, a few weeks ago, they announced that the prices actually came down about 20% for the next planning year. So good thing there. Now in PJM, that's going to be capped because they actually have put out the approved. We kind of put it out there a few months ago. This was in discussions, and we thought it would go this way, and it has. That they have approved the floor and ceiling extension. So it continues the same. We're already priced at the ceiling here, and it's going to continue. So the same ceiling price of the 315, 320 area. So with that, both those things, I just reiterate, like we do all the time, fix does not mean fixed. You might have this in your contract. Many of the things being priced in PJM are being priced at the floor. So those capacity prices they get at auction actually goes at the ceiling. That means that you are going to be, which we fully believe they will be real close to that, and definitely not at the floor. Those prices will be adjusted, even if it says fixed in the contract. Most likely thing is they will be adjusted. And then on the MISO side of it, with the pricing going down, same kind of thing. Hey, that pricing, there might have been a risk adder, there might be some stuff in there, and if you did fix, suppliers necessarily won't adjust that lower. So, you might have some contract language in there to get you some stuff, leeway on it. Let us know if you have a fixed contractor. We'll make sure that if you're due it, that you will get it. So it just kind of shows you both sides of it, how suppliers kind of have that optionality almost, like, hey, pricing going up, we're going to charge you. Pricing goes down, they're not going to just jump at the chance to lower it. So work with us on that contract language. Globally, and I'm going to get nationally here in a second because it's more important. Globally, it continues to be the LNG story. 20% LNG is just, cut out, and it's Qatar being shut down here in the Straits of Hormuz. And really now there's a damage to these fields as well. And it's taken away the stability of that Middle East. And with LNG, and with that, U.S. is now, where we began the year, like, gosh, is there going to be a glut in LNG here? And now it's being like, and there was trouble, building out. The people were considering building out new projects of finding off takers for it. And now there's actually no problem with that. So there's been continued LNG build out here in the U.S. We actually raised our projections up through 2031 a little bit. I'm going to get to that in just a second. And we, but with that also, with this more and more LNG, it's kind of like, I don't want to get in the weeds here too much, but I mean, potential for the latter, maybe 2-3 years down the road, where there could be some issues with we're the swing producer, and that creates a lot of volatility here in the U.S. because when a situation like this hits, and now we can ramp up our production 5 BCF to hit up all the LNG, we can't ramp it up quick enough for that. So that's going to be an issue. Now nationally, I'm just going to throw out 3 numbers here. For you, 191, 24, and -4. And 191, that's where capacity is going to in 2031 in PGM. It's going to be similar in all other areas as these capacity rises. That's 30 more BCF or 30 more gigawatts than we currently have right now. This is a load that's been stagnant for a long time, and it's starting to grow, and it's all data centers. That's no news for anybody. But that's growing. So these are all the stories. So 191 growing, 24 BCF, same thing. Next 5 years. So that's the growth, like 31 gigawatts in PGM, and it's kind of nationally. That's about a 20% increase. 24 BCF. That's how much natural gas. It's a mid-case scenario. How much natural gas is going to go up in demand. And then -4. That's how much production is down in natural gas since the beginning of the year. So natural gas is being kind of stagnant. So they don't, basically what the producers are telling you is they don't like these prices right now. And over the next 5 years, there's going to be dramatic increase in demand for both power and gas. Gas is the thing on margin. It's a generation fuel on margin. And with that that's, where the price of gas goes, that's going to be really where power goes. And all producers are pretty much saying, pretty much all of them are saying, really, $4 is the level they need to kind of break even, and they're showing that now with reduction in in production, and term prices are in the 360, 370 area. So that's $4 to just produce to where they're incentivized with it. It really needs to be above that really for a long term to do that. And that's what's going on there. That's really all that's got going on. And I just want to let everybody know, hey, we're going to start showing some of these weekly, every once or twice a month, we'll be having like like we used to have this like 30-minute kind of thing on this podcast, on this webinar. And I'll be doing like a 5-minute kind of briefing that we just put out there on social and out there to distribute everybody. So, look out for that. But that's what we got. So
awesome, really good insights. Thank you. I love focusing on all of these different areas. It's one of the cool things about Box is our scope, right? The fact that we're in all of these markets. We're in MISO, we're in PJM, we're in New England, we're in New York, we're in ERCOT, we're in California. We're all over the place, and we're and we're sourcing gas in in some of these areas. Our broker network is truly insane, and our supplier partners that we partner with have very deep relationships with us. So being able to kind of combine those two things with the expertise that Scott and the Strategic Solutions Division brings to our team is really awesome. I think you can have something new to talk about with your customers. I mean, those were 3 great things to talk about with your customers just for this week. Just looking at it and saying, okay, well, here's what's going on. So just thank you.
Yeah, I think what's really important for our partners to know is that what we do is we're not just like market people where we're like, give me a bunch of market information through your customers. We are actually aces at finding a strategy to win deal. That's really what our specialty is. So when you have a larger customer and you have competition on it, or you want to make sure this customer is going to be somebody you're going to keep for a long term, we can shift the strategy and figure it out. Like, we all have a background in the sales side of this as well, not just the in the product side, the sales side, the structuring side, and then I got market knowledge, and Allie is awesome with the regulatory side. So it's just kind of, we bring all this to you guys to really kind of bring a package to your customers that they can't refuse. That's our goal. So with that, I guess we should bring Chandler on there. What do you think?
We should, yeah. Well, let's talk to Chandler about what
there he is. All right.
Hey, Scott, Allie, how we doing?
Well, I'm doing great. What about you, Chandler? Get any travel plans this summer?
No, I think I'm going to keep it pretty local. Maybe get a little bit of golf in before it gets too hot. But that's pretty much it. But
Awesome.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, I'm gonna leave with the most important question for the day here. All right, how's the softball team doing, Chandler?
Actually, surprisingly well. We've got our playoff games tomorrow night. If we win round 1, we go to round 2, then the actual playoffs. So, so I've got my fingers crossed.
Yeah. And shout out to Gridmatic for sponsoring that team, right? Yeah.
Yes. Shout out to Gridmatic for
sponsoring
those jerseys.
I saw a picture of you guys at the jerseys and stuff. That was pretty cool. Really cool. Well, good luck with that. And I guess let's start with some questions. First of all, Chandler, introduce yourself. Like how long you been here? What's some?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I am a senior account manager here at Box. I've worn various hats over the years: support side, retention side. Worked under different account managers a while ago, but now my primary role, I work directly with brokers. I'm everybody's first point of contact for anything matrix, custom. For the most part, I consider myself a conduit and plugging people into our strategic desk or helping them with matrix or whatever it might be. I handle it all.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's start off with asking you a question. So really, you manage a roster of agents, really different strengths, and when you look at your top performers, how specialized are they versus kind of like how broad?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, for the most part, pretty much all my top performers, they service a wide variety of customers and customer classes, though that's not to say somebody who does primarily matrix won't have a large commercial and industrial customer pop up every now and then, and I can help facilitate that process, or I have partners that I work with that their average customer is 3,000 megawatt hours, but every now and then they'll have a dry cleaner or a gas something something to close. So yeah, people tend to stick to their own silos, but in general, it could be far spread.
Good. Do you try to like convince them to like mix up their stuff and go into other silos?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Especially, I mean, if I've got a fairly green broker, he's gotten comfortable with this pitch, maybe he like, the little small to medium sized businesses in his neighborhood might be in his comfort zone. But hey, that large industrial plant down the street, there could be an opportunity there. They may not necessarily adjust it, but it can be intimidating. But it all starts with a conversation. Who knows? They may be on a post variable or not satisfied with who they're working with, or we could potentially pitch something that's a little different than their current process and win over the customer. You never know.
Excellent. Good stuff.
Yeah, awesome. How do the best agents treat renewals in comparison to agents who are maybe focused on new business? Give us a little insight on the renewal management.
For sure. And prioritizing your renewals is everything. Customer acquisition is actually pretty expensive. I mean, not just in our industry, pretty much any industry, onboarding new customers, there's a cost, there's time associated with that. If you're not actually working the business that you've already earned, your business is going to be stagnant. You're just spinning your wheels. You've already put in the hard work with that customers. You might as well maintain that business. I know it's easy to focus on chasing new customers, but you're not going to be able to grow.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot that goes into just keeping the customer.
For sure.
It's definitely a business where, the need for electricity, it doesn't go away. The need for natural gas doesn't go away. Your customer who's signing a contract today is very likely going to need another one at the end of that contract that you just sold them. So staying on top of that need and being able to prioritize it and check in, that's one of the reasons why we do these market updates and why we support our brokers the way we do with our CRM, with our systems and everything like that.
No, 100%. And you make a good point. We do everything we can to keep that information in front of our partners. We have people that we work with that might have 10 customers. We have people we work with that have 1,000. But either way, we'll keep those renewals in front of people to let them know that this is what they need to focus on so they can spend more time actually talking with customers and not getting bogged down in Excel sheets.
Yeah. And sometimes the most expensive price to pay for renewal is the month before, right? So
yes.
Yeah, as we all know, as you're all seeing, and trying to get that through, and then the brokers need to try to get that through to their customers. Hey, so any brokers just can deliver on price, right? Like anybody can like deliver a price, right? Like it's just like, and that's kind of what we see a lot of our brokers do. But our top agents, as we all had this conversation before, they go beyond that and they move the conversation beyond price. How do they move that? What are they doing? What are they discussing to move that conversation beyond just like, hey, here's a price, how do you like that? You want to sign it? What are they doing differently?
No, for sure. And you make a good point. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, I feel like not many people were having conversations outside of just a fixed all-in price, but a lot of people are nowadays. And if you're not having those conversations, you're going to get left in the dust. But if you're large commercial, industrial size customers, really identifying some pain points and talking about an overall procurement strategy is the way to address those customers. Because your more sophisticated customers, they're much more likely to react to a tailored solution to them rather than just throwing a fixed price at the wall and hoping that the customer is going to take action.
Where are you starting to see a split where customers of a certain volume, size, industry start to see a little bit better cost effectiveness or a little bit more value in shopping? At what kind of size threshold? How big are those customers where you're starting to see a little bit more of that value?
Well, yeah, it's a good question. I mean, realistically, anybody over 5,000 megawatt hours needs to be evaluating something outside of a fixed rate. But even if it's not a customer that needs something like a managed product or something like that, if you're going to do a custom for a customer, depending on the market, it could make sense to pass through certain cost components rather than just a fixed all-in rate. Or there's some unique things we can do depending on the market. But yeah, if it's custom size, there's a chance something outside of just a fixed all-in rate could be better suited for them.
Definitely.
Cool. So, Chandler, how can an agent use Box to bring more value to a customer without, overcomplicating the sale?
Yeah, really just leveraging MSC. We've built a platform for you to be able to log in, evaluate thousands of different price points for all the deregulated markets, contract there right on the spot. It's quick, it's easy, it's efficient. And outside of that, lean on your account managers. They deal with these contracts, suppliers on a day-to-day basis. They understand the nuances of working with these suppliers and can make a suggestion for the best fit.
Excellent. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Do you have do you have customers that have like issues with the contracts at all? Like they're like questioning them, they want, these questions with it and maybe some negotiated things in the contracts. Do you see that often?
Yeah, for sure. And for depending on the size of the customer, for a small matrix customer, redlining isn't exactly going to be a thing. But for larger customers, for sure, we can take a look and see what we can make adjustments on. And admittedly, even myself, brokers come to me with those questions. I fire it off to you guys in my strategic desk to see, hey, what is reasonable for us to go back to the supplier and ask them to adjust? We can't exactly say, hey, let's change the product language and then give me the same price. But I definitely depend on you guys to tell me what we can get away with and what's a reasonable ask.
Right. I mean, I've actually written supplier contracts, so I like know exactly what stuff is pretty much negotiated, which not. And between myself and Allie, we can for the broker partners and ultimately customers probably know more than your typical attorney, their corporate attorney or whatever attorney they have about dealing with contracts and this stuff. And we're on their side. I just want to put it that way. We are not on the side of the supplier on that. We try to negotiate for the customer. That's not our contract that's being presented to them. That's from the supplier. And our job is to be on their side and negotiate that. So good stuff.
Yeah, our job is to sit on the customer side of the table and help advocate for them. And so, the more information that we have to do that, the better. I know a lot of, custom deals and larger customers can have longer deal cycles too. And so that's always, showing them during that process that you're willing to go deep into the contract, willing to, support them for the life of the contract is great. That said, is there anything, maybe one habit that separates the top 10% of agents from the middle of the pack? How do agents distinguish themselves? The good ones.
Yes, realistically, top agents, they're ingraining in the customer's head that they are their energy professional. They're not just someone that walked in and signed them up with a supplier, a year ago, and then you don't hear from them again until the renewal comes up. Checking in with them every now and then, especially, if it's a medium to large size customer, hey, there's some interesting things that have been happening with utility. Maybe there's some charges that are fluctuating, even on the delivery side, an article that you can share with them. Hey, thought you'd find this interesting. Or I love using, hey, would really like to do a bill audit, make sure everything is the way it should be. Please forward me the invoice. We can review. And that just ingrains in that customer's head that they are their broker, their energy professional. And next time somebody walks into the business, a competing broker, they'll remember you and they'll know they can come to you. Because I know brokers like to think that they're special, their customers are loyal to them. But if you don't really do anything to maintain that relationship, you're not going to be special and they'll just sign up with the next guy.
Yeah. I always had to tell brokers that, like, if you have anybody with like a customer facing thing, is always to find out like their wife's name, their children's names, their dog's name, whatever. and constantly have like a little journal written on each customer, like all this information, and find out what their favorite kind of wine is, or drink, or restaurant. Because then when it comes down to like Christmas or whatever, you want to send a gift to them, you kind of give them something like more special than just a logoed polo shirt, right?
Yeah.
And then you ask any conversation you can develop it in, right, into the question like, hey, Ellie, how's Brian doing? Like instead of like, how's your husband? It's like it's a much more personal, like it's that like touch like that, and it's people value that, right? And they feel like, oh, I got this friend, I'm doing this. Like I cannot take business away from Chandler. I like him too much. I cannot say no to him. It'd be the worst day of my life if I had to say that to him. Awesome. And so, with that, then, like when you're onboarding a brand new agent, if you're bringing one on today, what's the first thing you drill into them?
Absolute first thing, and I don't know, it doesn't really matter if I know you've worked in the industry for years or you're super green and you just have some relationships and need me to kind of walk you through the process. We're in the business of budget certainty. We're in the business of risk management. People in this industry a lot use saving money, saving money, saving money. Okay, yeah, you can look at the utility today and maybe we're 5 mils, half a penny under what they're charging. But if you're like, okay, we're saving money against the utility, we sign them up for a fixed rate. 6 months from now, maybe the utility is a little lower than what we have. Well, then it's, hey, I thought I was going to be saving money against the utility. Or it's easy for brokers to get caught up in, our customers, brokers, I signed a contract that was at 9 cents 4 years ago, and we come back with a 10.2 today. Well, yeah, it's a different market. It just
Right.
is. So
Right.
at that point, you got two options. You can either fall back to the utility and float and hope, but hoping really isn't a risk management strategy, or you can sign another fixed contract and have some peace of mind for the term of the agreement. Those are really your only options.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, when you're going in and saying savings, this market's just been escalating every year here for the past 3 or 4 years. So most likely these customers signed a contract where the price is lower than it is today.
Yep.
And like you go in and you start selling like, I'm going to show you savings. You've lost trust right when you show them the price, right? Like, oh, well, I was wrong. You couldn't show savings. Okay, yeah, okay. I mean, you're already putting your relationship on a back foot rather than like kind of going after saying like, hey, I may not be able to show you savings, but I can optimize your rate. I'll probably get you the lowest rates in the market right now. And then I'm going to show you some other ways that you can potentially save money from there through some programs. But yeah, that's good. When agents struggle to close a deal, what's usually missing from their process?
Yeah, usually I feel like in my experience, they're not properly qualifying the customer. And when I say qualifying the customer, it could mean a couple different things. Maybe you're not speaking to the right person at the business, or you're not identifying proper pain points, and maybe even you are, and there are going to be some people that just aren't interested in your services, and that's okay. But it's easy to get caught up and keep trying to, because obviously we know the value that we can deliver, but it's easy to get caught up and try to pursue customers that are just never really going to sign a contract. And it's good to have the awareness and feel them out to understand if they're going to make a move ever or not. You could just be spinning your wheels.
Yeah, it's one thing to go into a business and make a new friend, establish rapport. It's another thing to establish yourself as their energy expert. And I think we're really asking our advisors, our brokers, everybody, we're asking them to do both. And sometimes at the same time, not necessarily at the same time. Some people have, books of business that they haven't sold energy to, but so they may have a little bit of a head start in the relationship side, but both are really important. Both your relationship with your customer and kind of having that personal feel, and being the energy expert in the room. And being, being the trusted advocate for your customer, so that they can say, I have a guy. I have a guy. He's taking care of me. I know who to call. He knows what I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works, but he does. And, he's taking care of me, for sure. That said, what is one underutilized box feature, resource, capability that more agents should be taking advantage of?
Realistically, broker online exchange, before anything else, we are an advisor. We have all of these cool technology solutions. My service cloud is awesome. We have a lot of great broker resources in there, things to access, but your account manager, the pricing desk, our strategic solutions team, that's really our biggest value point. Yeah, you can log in and close a matrix contract without ever talking to me, or you can submit a custom proposal and we can get a fixed price back and you can request a contract. Sure, but really our value is in asking our opinion on how to approach things. We have a very unique position in the market. We get to see a lot of different contract languages, work with a lot of different suppliers, a lot of different markets. We might have an interesting approach that you wouldn't necessarily thought of, even if you're a sophisticated broker or a broker that just started a month ago. Doesn't really matter. Get the team here involved. We're here to help you, and that's really our primary value proposition.
So it's the people.
It's the people. It is 100%.
Yep.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, Chandler, thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, these insights have
I'd like
been
to get back
invaluable.
to working with your team and your partners there, and I'll actually be in the office next week, so I'll see you there. Looking forward to that.
All right.
Good luck in the playoffs. Go Box.
Hey, appreciate it.
You got a nickname? Is there a nickname for Box? You just call ourselves?
We are actually at 100% Swing is our team name.
100% Swing. Love it. That's on the Facebook.
That's awesome.
All right, Joe. Hey, appreciate you having me on. Enjoy the day.
Oh, as always.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Chandler.
Well, that was great, Allie. That was a great conversation. Really, what kind of stuck out to you the most from Chandler there?
I liked that he talked about really our scope in the industry. Just talking about how we're in these markets every single day, and we get to do all of the things that basically all the things that brokers and agents don't really want to do. And yeah, a lot of that is kind of the day-to-day minutia, but you can use those activities to build a relationship too. Our relationships with our brokers, our relationships with our suppliers are the exact same types of relationships that our brokers and advisors, I think, are aiming to cultivate with their customers. And so I think that's really cool. And then talking a little bit about which brokers are successful and why, talking about that time allocation, I thought was really, really sharp.
Yeah, absolutely. And just how they don't sell the savings, they're actually selling kind of like the value proposition and what they can do for the what they can do for the customer in the end, other than just here's a price, here's savings, and instead of we're going to optimize this for you and give you budget certainty and risk management. I think that's an important way to really get the conversation started and show something a little different than like cold calling everybody and hey, savings. They hear that, give them a little different message with that. All right, well this is going to wrap it up. I do want to remind everybody though that we have for our partners in here, Thrive. Sign up for Thrive. You've seen a lot of social media on it. It's end of September. It's in LA. End of September, October. But we have codes to get you a holiday discount rate. I think it's free actually to get into the show. Discounted airline, discounted hotel. But go out to it because you're going to learn some fabulous stuff of even if you just stay in the energy side of the business, some different ways to help you guys market and run your business, but also ways to expand into other services and potentially double, triple your current revenue just based off the current customers you currently have. I mean, I think we all like to make money and help our customers as well. And this kind of gets both of those. So look into that, and maybe we can put Amanda will put a little note here at the end of this and put that information here. So you'll see this right here, hopefully after our discussion. But everyone have a great month. Looking forward to talking to you guys again next month. Again, give some feedback on this different format. I thought this was kind of fun.
Yeah, we are here for you guys. We're here to answer any questions, comments, concerns, grievances. We are always here to help, here to listen. So let us know what you think about this new format. Let us know what you'd like to see in the future. If there's something that if there's something that we could do, a topic that you want to feature, a question you want answered, we're here for it. So
we take requests on guests that you want to see too. So
that's true. That's true. No guarantees, but. But cool. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
Have a good day, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.